Oh. I don't see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Welcome to the morning show. Glad to have you here.
Or miserable Wednesday, depending where you are in the world.
We hope it's a nice Wednesday. We hope it's a happy Wednesday. We always hope it's a happy Wednesday. Unfortunately, I have to drive into the city on Wednesday, and it's not always happy. But when I get to the studio, I get happy, man. I'm glad to be here with you.
Really?
Yeah, man. I miss you guys.
Even though you see this face?
This face is the highlight of the week for me, man.
No way! Oh, that's so sweet.
Forget about my wife. Forget about my kids.
Oh my God!
It's you, dude.
You make me want to kiss your bald head, bro.
You guys want to be alone?
Sure. We could close the door. I have the key only.
I'm the only one that
has a key.
Have you guys subscribed yet on patreon.com/Pantelis? If you haven't, head on over there. Find yourself a package that suits your needs. Get yourself access to all that exclusive content.
Some of the shows actually start on time.
Because they're pre-recorded.
Yeah, this isn't one of them. Today, we got in a little bit late. We're flying by the seat of our pants. Yeah. Thank God I'm wearing my catheter and piss bag, or I could be in big trouble right about now.
I blame George.
That's Terry. No, that's not Terry. That's Ted Bird, ladies and gentlemen. He's with Terry DeMonte officially this morning. Brand new season.
Like in a relationship?
Yeah. Brand new season.
We have an open relationship, though. I allow him to be married.
I allow him to be married. That is so good.
I'm actually his side piece.
You've been demoted off there.
Well, what are you going to do? You know, I'll take whatever I can get these days.
Brand new season of Standing By, the Terry and Ted podcast, started early this morning. I listened to the first episode on the way to pick you up. I love it. Look, first of all, I've been telling you this ever since you guys started, that I'm a huge fan. I loved you when you were on radio, and I love what you guys are doing now, and I'm excited that it's going to be consistent. It's going to be weekly now, because this is something that we always held. We didn't want to break the news. Obviously, it's Terry's business, but now, I mean, it's public. He's back. He's back in Montreal. He left BC. He just couldn't take it. He came back. He goes through it. He goes into detail on why they left BC and came back to Montreal on this first episode. So do head over there and take a listen. Have a listen. I love the fact that you're going to be there every single week now.
Every week and in studio every Tuesday with the podcast released on Wednesday morning. So it's going to be current, unlike when Terry lived in BC and he had to fly in and we'd record 10 episodes in the course of 1 week and then release them a week at a time. So by the time you got to episode 10, you know, it's stuff that had been recorded 2.5 months ago. So we couldn't be current the way we can be now. Yeah. So yeah, it's really exciting. And I enjoyed listening to Terry relate the experience of moving to BC and realizing this isn't home. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. And, you know, generally speaking, over the years, Terry and I have had a lot of laughs. That's sort of the Terry and Ted brand is, you know, a lot of laughs. But it was interesting to hear him talk seriously and with such sincerity about being tried and true, born and raised, died in the wool Montrealer, and realizing that from 3,000 miles away and going, you know what? I got to go home.
Yeah.
Terry and his wife both. His wife, Jess, is from St. Agathe, French-Canadian, born and raised. And, the BC turned out to be the great place to visit, but they didn't want to live there.
Yeah.
They gave it the old college try, and it didn't work out, so they're back.
At least they tried.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I've always thought better to regret doing something than to regret not doing it. Of course, that got me 2 divorces and bankruptcy. Maybe I should rethink that philosophy. Now it's too late now. Too late now. I'm wearing a catheter and a piss bag.
So head on over, Standing By Terry and Ted podcast. And of course, the Poseidon 69. I am Poseidon.com. You can follow all his shenanigans.
The bane of humanity's existence.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Why do they call it to be current?
To be current, because you can't say, you can't listen to an episode now and say, holy shit, did you see those planes crashing into the towers? Just a
because
reference
it's
to
with
September
the current.
11, obviously.
It's with the current of society, just how the current of the sea.
Huh? Did you get that, Ted? No.
I'm sorry, this is my nonsense. Go ahead, carry on.
I thought that was a serious question.
Carry on.
He's being nonsensical again. That's his bit, man.
It's my life. It's my life, Ted.
Oh, God. The drive-in was just fucking terrible today.
Yeah, especially near the Royal Mount. Traffic was already bad around that area.
That wasn't our worst. My worst.
Really?
It's coming in. I looked at the map in the morning, and whether I came in from the 15 to take the 40,
And George has to come and get me because I can't drive right now because of the medication that I'm on.
Which is
so
not-
he has to go Brossard to the West Island to Chabanel. How's that for the grand fucking tour, right?
It's fine. It allows me to listen to your podcast.
There you go.
in the morning. But I don't really mind it. But I do mind not moving on the highway. It just gets to me. And I was stuck on the 20. And at some point, I realized the GPS. When I left the house, it said 9:15, which is normally around 9:15. We make it in studio in time. And that's what it said when I left the house. And then as soon as I crossed the bridge, and I was looking at the thing, and it was just. The time was just increasing really rapidly.
And was it anything other than volume of traffic?
No, it was just traffic.
Yeah.
It was just traffic.
Rush hour now is all day long.
But you know what I noticed from previous years as well, when I used to come into work, I think it's September. It's September. I'm convinced
Because
that
everybody's getting back in their routine.
everybody's getting back to the routine. So they're adapting. Maybe some people are going to.
So do you think in a few weeks that
By the end of September, it usually gets better.
It's going to start to flow a little bit better again.
I think
Terry
so.
and I were. I was telling George on the way in today. We were downtown last week, and not even downtown. We were in NDG. We went down to see the Mersons. Merson Automotive is one of the sponsors of the Standing By podcast. So we went down to shake hands and kiss babies. And to get from NDG, and we're talking NDG corner, a border of Montreal West, so the western fringes of the city proper, to get from there to Dorval took us over an hour at 12:30 in the afternoon.
That makes no sense. Also, the fact that doesn't connect, so that you can just go north. They're talking about Cavendish, opening up Cavendish, so it can.
They've been talking about that since I moved here 40 years
yeah.
ago. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. They got to get that. They got to get that past Côte St. Luc City Council, and I don't know if they will, because the people in Côte St. Luc, they don't want all that traffic through their neighborhood, and I don't blame them.
But I had a friend, it was a colleague that lived in Côte St. Luc, and a couple of times I dropped him off and I picked him up for work. You're stuck in Côte St. Luc. Like, there's two ways to get in and 2 ways to get out. That's it. I mean, you don't have that many options.
Yeah, the only time I go to Côte St. Luc is to see my doctor. That's where my doctor is, Dr. Benjamin.
Yeah.
That's the only time I go. I got to go see him in November if I'm still alive.
Hang in there, Ted. Just 2 months.
I shouldn't tempt fate like that, eh? But it's so crazy. I'm just going for a regular checkup, a regular physical. I made the appointment like a year and a half ago.
What?
Yeah, I called him in 2022, and his secretary said, "Yeah, we can see you in November 2024."
That makes no sense.
No, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family doctor resigned, like he retired.
Yeah.
And then a month or two later, he came back. I don't know if that was part of his plan or if he said, fuck it, let's just, let me go back to practicing. But he came back private.
Oh, he did, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now to see my family doctor, I need to pay $350 a visit.
Yeah. Well,
is
you know
ridiculous.
what? It is ridiculous, but it's getting to the point where, if you don't want to wait for a year and a half like me, that's what you're going to have to do. And when my doctor retires, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I do have an in. I have a friend who's a doctor. I probably shouldn't say this because I don't want to get him in trouble, and he doesn't have to do me any favors, but I figure if I do need, if I need to get a door opened or some wheels greased, I can always call him and say,
strings,
what do I do? Can you pull a string for me? But he's a gynecologist, so what good is that going to do
Not
me?
much.
Until I transition.
I'll tell you what you're going to do, because this is what my wife loves, the last couple of years, because before, if you had no family doctor, you were screwed pretty much. You had to go either to the CLSC or end up, at the emergency waiting to see a family doctor. There's the portal now that exists. It's the Portail Santé for anyone wondering. And you register, and it's online. You look at your address.
Is that Click Santé?
I don't know if it's through Click Santé, because my wife calls it a Portail. So it's like a portal. Maybe it's part of the thing. Anyways. And you plug in the radius that you want, that you're comfortable with. And that's what she does. And she sees a doctor within 24 hours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get that link from you.
Yeah. And because everything is digital now, your files, anyone can just access them and see, That was my main worry. I'm like, but what am I going to go? I've had my family doctor since I was a kid.
Yeah.
He knows everything about me, right? No, now you walk in, they have all your file, everything is there, everything that's happened to you. It's just, you lose that personal kind of relationship that you have with your doctor, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm going to ask Dr. Benjamin in November. I assume he's getting ready to retire because he's got to be retirement age by now.
Right.
So I'm going to say, what do I do now? Just lie down and die because I've had a good run.
You can try. I'll ask my wife to see how exactly she does it, and I'll tell you.
I'm going to see her later on. I'll ask her. That's terrible.
Good.
Sorry, George.
Is that a
That's
problem?
very disrespectful. I shouldn't say that.
We joke around. It's funny. Did you guys watch the debate last night?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wish they'd have these things earlier.
It was a bit late, eh?
Well, 9:00.
And it was in the east. Maybe because they're thinking about the people out west that are watching it. They don't want it to be too early for them.
I guess, yeah. I thought that she won, and this is only my own analysis, and I'm not a fan of hers, but I thought that she won by not losing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
She didn't make any major mistakes.
Yeah.
She did what I thought Trump did in the first debate with Biden. Trump let Biden sink his own ship. And that's what she did last night. She let Trump sink his own ship. She stuck to her script. She got under his skin. And in so doing, she just let him. He went off the rails a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
And that was it. That was.
It's interesting that you're saying about her following her script, and that's important because she had one and he didn't. So he thought he could wing it, and you can't do that in a debate.
Yeah. She didn't say anything.
No.
And she never does. It's just a word salad.
But neither did he either.
Yeah, nor did he. There was no content
there's
from
no
either one of them. There was no content.
So,
it was all about who's going to keep their composure and who's not going to. It's like watching a defensive hockey game.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're playing the trap.
Yeah.
Just don't make any mistakes. Just make sure that we don't get scored on. And he, like I say, he went off the rails a couple of times with the. They're eating the cats
and dogs.
Yeah. And maybe they are. I don't know. But he looked so bad because the moderator said, well, that hasn't been, that hasn't been confirmed because I saw it on TV.
I know.
It's like your crazy uncle,
Exactly. Look, let me just preface this. I don't like any of these two candidates. I think both parties could have done a much better job at finding the right candidates. Some people will argue that, oh yeah, but the Democrats, it's last minute because the other guy wasn't fit, so they had to. But you know what the thing is? They knew he wasn't fit, so they should have just gotten him out.
And she
earlier.
knew, and she wasn't asked about that last night. And a lot of people are saying that it was 3-1 because the moderators were very clearly and mainstream media in general is very clearly anti-Trump. They don't like him. They don't want him to win. And they didn't ask her last night, why did you insist for so long that Biden was mentally competent and as sharp as ever, and then you turn on a dime and without going through the proper democratic process, you accept the nomination and throw him under the bus. Yeah. They didn't ask her about that. And it was incumbent upon Trump, actually. Trump should have brought that up, and he didn't.
No. Trump, the way he closed, he should have opened with that, I think. Yeah. He should have opened with that. Just singling her out. This is who she is. They're the same people.
Yeah. Why haven't you made these changes in the 3.5 years that you've been in office?
I think he should have opened with that. But here's immediately off the bat, this is what I noticed. One, the debate starts and you have Trump walking in like he just woke up from a nap.
Well, I thought his hair looked good. I thought
looked fine. And
he wasn't as orange as he usually is.
Yeah.
And his hair didn't look like a Cleveland Browns football helmet for a change.
No, but he walked in and it felt like he didn't want to be there. Very, so she walked in just in terms of appearance, right? She walked in back straight
and went right over to him and shook his hand. I'm Kamala Harris.
You know what I mean? Yep. Let's have a good debate.
Yeah.
So automatically you're like, oh wow, okay. She imposed herself. And then the other thing I noticed almost immediately is how horrible the people were, the moderators. Were. They did a horrible job. They didn't moderate at all. In addition to having the microphone muted. I mean, how do you fuck that up? It's 85% of your job as a moderator to control people so that nobody talks over one another. That's already taken care of because the microphone is muted. And on top of that, you had everyone just butting in all the time. It's like, oh, no, I got to answer. Don't let him answer, man. Go to your question. Same for him and for her. So I think they did a very bad job. And then after that, as the debate went on, I didn't want to believe it that she was doing good. But Trump was doing so bad that it was obvious that she was.
And you could see her confidence growing.
Yeah. He lost control. Control. And the important thing for everyone listening, in a debate, there's two things that you need to focus on. Number one, you need to try not to constantly be on defense. And the most important thing is to give the impression that you are the most presidential, or if it's in Canada, the most prime ministerial. Yeah. That's what you want people to understand, that he's ready for the job. And it was easy for Trump to do that because you are the opposition now. You are challenging the person that is in government. So you're at a position where instead of being on the defensive, you just attack constantly. This is what you guys did, and this is why it's bad. This is what you're saying. Why didn't you do it? Like, it was easy for him to do it, and he didn't. She outplayed him. She
was better than I thought she would be.
She surprised, I think, even herself.
Yeah. And apparently she wants to go again.
Right after that debate, she said, let's do it again. And it's just funny how
Do you think that's smart on her part, though? Like, wouldn't you, if you won that round, why don't you just ride that horse to the election?
Because I don't think
why would you put yourself in a position where you could get... so much can happen, though, between... I was talking to somebody this morning, and we're saying, what happened last night is going to be forgotten tomorrow.
Exactly. That's the thing.
And there's still, how many weeks? 7-8 weeks left before the election?
Yeah, it's like 50-some days, something like that. But here's the important thing, and a lot of people don't know this, that a huge portion of the American electorate votes in advance polls. I think it's like above 30% of the people, they don't vote on election day. They vote in the advance poll, and that starts soon. I think in the next week or so, it's going to start. So the time of this debate was crucial, and I think that's going to help Kamala Harris. Here's the other thing that I felt. I don't think they managed to influence anyone's decision. Trump has his base. They're going to vote Trump, and she has the Democrats. The big question is, 7 to 10% of the undecided voters that were looking today, or yesterday rather, at who is my guy, who do I, and I just don't think Trump. I don't think that there's anyone in the U.S. last night that was watching this debate that is still undecided, that doesn't know, probably hates Kamala Harris and doesn't really like Trump. So they're like, we'll wait and see what happens.
There's such polar opposites. I don't understand how anyone can be undecided in the first place.
I mean, if you're a Democrat, like a more center Democrat, kind of like a Bill Clinton kind of Democrat, that you just can't stand Kamala Harris. They've brought the party a little bit more to the left, more social programs and that sort of thing. You're kind of stuck, and you don't want to vote for that guy, right? In the Republicans. So I can understand how there are undecided voters. Here's the thing. It's very difficult for me to imagine any undecided voter in the U.S. after last night's debate, for them to say, you know what, Trump, that's my guy. That's what
he could, there's no way he could have won anybody over with that performance last night.
So now, is it going to make a big
And she could have, I think.
But that's the thing.
I came away from that, and like I say, I'm not a fan of hers, but I was impressed with her performance last night.
We've seen her, right, in different interviews. She sucks. She's horrible.
Yeah.
She has no idea what to say. She's bad. She's not eloquent. She laughs when she's not supposed to. She's annoying. She's annoying to watch, and she says things that are just nonsensical. Yesterday was a completely different woman.
Yeah.
She studied. She did her homework. She took the time. She had her lines. She knew when to attack. She knew what to say. She inspired hope. She came out as, I'll be the president. Well, that's the feeling I got. And again, because we've seen her and how she normally is, it was a huge contrast from the Kamala Harris of yesterday's debate. She spoke to everyone as, let's bring everyone together now. I'm there for every single person. And I like the line that she said, my entire life, I've been a district attorney, I've been a prosecutor, I've been a senator, I've been a vice president. I have one client, and that's the American people. And that's good.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, but that's a performance. She put on a good performance, but is that who you want for a president? Do you want a performer? Do you want an actress as a president?
Exactly.
And I asked myself that question, and then I say, well, you know what? Ronald Reagan was a professional actor, and he turned out to be a hell of a president.
Yeah, but he had a plan. He had a program.
Yeah.
And when people that are a little bit more into the politics and into, the details, the minutia of, what they're doing and what they're working on. And I was looking to have any sort of direction in terms of ideas. What are you going to bring to the table? They got nothing last night. There was nothing. She mentioned on one occasion, I think that, part of her platform about, giving, I think, $25,000 to new homeowners or to new people buying homes to help them out. Like, she mentioned a couple things that are probably on her platform. So that was okay. But other than that, I didn't see anything. And Trump just was winging the whole thing. The whole thing. I can't remember on what topic they were asking about his plan and what he would do. And he's like, well, I have a concept of a plan, but I'm not president. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but dude, you want to be a president. So why don't you tell us? What are you going to do? So zero plan on either side. And it's what you said. It's a performance. It's a show. It's let's go out there and win over the people that have a big question mark above their head and they don't know who to vote for.
I would like to see, and actually my buddy Zach, who was in on the show one time a few months ago, he pointed this out. Have Joe Rogan moderate a podcast or
he would never do it.
A debate.
He'd never do it.
Why not?
But I think he said it already. First of all, he doesn't want to bring them onto his podcast. And I'm sure that they would both want to go. It's the biggest fucking platform on the planet.
Yeah, well, that's it. And that's part of the reason. That's part of my thinking.
Yeah.
This is where everybody is now. Have Joe Rogan or Tucker Carlson. And I know that they both lean right. They both lean conservative. But that's just a counterbalance to what we saw last night.
Yeah.
The mainstream media leans heavily to the Democratic side.
I actually like that about Joe Rogan, that he just doesn't want to open that door. If you are actively running, I'm not interested, and it's smart. He doesn't want to divide his listenership either. He's like, listen, come on my podcast, listen to the bullshit I have to say. I bring on intelligent people. I bring on friends that we fuck around with. That's my style. He's not the political platform, although he's brought politicians, but none of which were promoting a campaign or anything like that. He stays away from that.
Yeah. Well, Tucker Carlson.
But they have been. Didn't Tucker Carlson have Trump on his podcast?
I'm not sure, but I have him moderate a debate. Have them both on his podcast.
I'm not so sure the Democrats would want.
No, probably not. Because they're Tucker Carlson. I lost some respect for him last week. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a very smart guy. I agree with a lot of what he says. But he had that historian on last week.
Oh yeah.
Who said that Hitler was misunderstood and Churchill was the real villain of World War II.
So ridiculous.
Come on. No. And Tucker Carlson praised this guy as probably the best in America today.
Ridiculous.
And I don't understand why he would do that.
I think it's fair to say at this point, after all these decades, that there's a pretty good consensus about what happened and who was wrong and who was right in that conflict.
Yeah.
So
Churchill wasn't perfect, and Churchill wasn't perfect. But the good guys and the bad guys it was pretty clear who the good guys and the bad guys were.
Exactly.
In World War II. And I don't understand why Tucker Carlson would go down that road. I don't understand why Candace Bergen has gone down the road that she's gone down. She's a very popular social media personality.
Candace Owen, you mean?
Candace Owen, Candace Bergen. And all of a sudden she's taken this hard turn into anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it a case of follow the money?
But what money? I don't get. I mean,
is someone paying her to be
maybe
that way? There was a whole thing last week with the
Russian, the influencers of the Russian,
a bunch of influencers who are supposedly being paid big money by Russia to spread basically.
But one of the names that came out was Tim Pool. Is that his name? Tim Pool?
Yeah. Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Lauren Chen.
But I've never heard pro-Russian shit on their platforms. And I don't listen to them as much as I listen to other podcasts, but I don't remember ever listening any pro-Russian propaganda.
Yeah. But it speaks to how influential social media has become.
Oh, it's over.
We're talking... if it's true what they're saying about these influencers, we're talking hundreds of thousands and in some cases millions of dollars they're being paid to put out a certain narrative. Where's ours?
Yeah, seriously. Fuck. Where's our piece of the pie? Oh, man. No, but all that to say for the debate. The next one is, I think, on October the 1st, the vice presidential debate, and I think that's it's going to be more ridiculous than this one was.
Well, I think that.
Although I think J.D. Vance is going to be much better.
Oh, he's going to be way better than Trump. He'll be better prepared. He's not,
and he's a better communicator.
Yeah,
too.
He's not a loose cannon like Trump. And
he does say stupidities. I find like that whole eating dog and cat thing. It started from him. He's the one that started that. And after the debate yesterday, he was on one of the panels. I think he was in the.
I think he was on CNN.
The spin room or whatever. He was at the debate, and they have like a thing. It was called the spinning room or whatever, spin room, and spin desk or whatever it's called. And I can't remember who it was, the journalist, and she questioned him. She goes, "Listen, you just heard him talk about that, and we know that it's not true. What do you have to say?" And he managed to get himself out of it, but he looked really ridiculous.
Yeah, but is it untrue? Have people in Springfield, Ohio, not said, "Hey,
the authorities have said it's not true"?
Yeah,
and his argument was, "Yeah, okay. I mean, the authorities may have said. I mean, they haven't shown evidence that it hasn't been true, but we're listening to the people on the ground, and the people on the ground are telling us that these things are happening." Yeah, but dude, I can tell you like so many different things. I mean, it's probably like what 3, 4, 5 people that you're listening to, and that's you're generalizing because we don't know. hard to imagine though that people are eating dog and cat. You know, but I don't know.
Geese, ducks.
The goose, I could imagine that. I mean, that's tastier. I mean, than dog and cat, right?
Yeah.
You can get a nice little goose.
Yeah, well, I know
Hook
that.
one up.
I know. My cat certainly perked up at that point in the debate last night. She was like, "What the fuck? You didn't mention this to me.
Is that what you guys do? Is that common
Am I okay?
practice?
Am I good?"
Oh my god! So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one, and I'm just worried again because, like you said, I mean, American politics has gotten so polarized that what if Trump loses? Are we going to go back into that scenario? Are we
Like
going
another January 6th scenario?
Well, maybe not that.
I don't.
But
think
are we going to
so.
play back that old movie of him refusing the results and then feeding that kind of argument again? We're going to play that movie again?
I don't know, but the difference this time being he's not in power this time. He was in power when he lost last time, so he doesn't have, the consequences are not, or potential consequences are not quite.
But everyone
as
is speculating.
ominous.
Everyone is speculating that these results might be even tighter.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I guess it depends on the degree to which people suspect there might have been monkey business in the counting of ballots.
Yeah.
And whether he and his side goes down that road again, if they think they were cheated and they start to push that narrative and people buy into it, it could get.
It's just difficult to know what to believe anymore. And it's what you spoke about. Mainstream media has lost a lot of credibility, and there's a lot of influencers out there that you can't just follow them blindly in what they're saying, right? I mean, because them too, you're listening to Crowder or Ben Shapiro, you know that they're camped really into the right. And there's other ones that are camped really into the left. And I mean, I get the whole argument about mainstream media, but influencers are getting to the point where them too are kind of also into their own camp, and
well, for sure they are, and even more so than mainstream media. Mainstream media should be where you go to get the truth.
Yeah.
But that's not the case anymore. And I've said this before. I've worked in and around newsrooms for 40 years, and when I first started out in the newsroom, your job was get the facts and report the truth.
Yeah.
As per the facts. That's not how it works anymore. Now it's always spin.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating and dangerous. Like we don't know anymore. And thank God for social media and for alternative media, because at least that gives you an opportunity to seek out multiple perspectives.
Yeah.
And then come to your own conclusion. And that's what I do now, and I think that's what you have to do. I don't take anything that I get from mainstream news media, I don't take any of it at face value.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. Just for the record, I don't follow football. I don't care about it. I watch football maybe once a year.
This story isn't even about football. This is. Did I send this to you, Poseidon?
Hold on, I'm having issues with the cameras.
Okay.
All of them, or just the middle one?
No, Ted's in the middle one.
Oh, you can't see me?
You became a Simpson character.
I'm out of here. If this show isn't all about me, I'm gone.
Jorge wrote that he put $2 in the chat. He goes, China controlling YouTube. They turned Ted yellow. Hold on. What time was this? Ted is a Simpson on cam.
I'm a Simpson.
Okay, I'm looking here. It's not even live.
So I'll give you the background of the story while Poseidon fixes
not
that
live?
up.
What?
No, I was just looking. Yeah.
So, the NFL season started this week. On Sunday, Tyreek Hill, who's an all-pro receiver for the Miami Dolphins, was pulled over for speeding outside the stadium in Miami. And during the course of the traffic stop, he was removed from his vehicle and handcuffed face down on the pavement.
For speeding?
Well, for being uncooperative with the police officers. And it turned into a huge shitstorm. And of course, for some people, it immediately became about he's a black man, so the cops are are being overly aggressive with him. And he even said during the course of the stop, you know, I've been detained for being a black man in America. And yeah, there was a subsequent shitstorm. One of the arresting officers, well, it wasn't an arrest. He wasn't officially arrested. He was detained. One of the officers involved has been placed on administrative leave while the Miami-Dade Police Department investigates it. The body cam footage was released within, I think, 24 hours. And I watched it, and I thought the cops were just doing their job. He was uncooperative.
Yeah.
He was arrogant, and he was uncooperative, and so they were heavy-handed for sure. And I don't know what the regulations are, what the police department regulations are for dealing with a suspect, and if they violated those regulations, I don't know. And if they did, then they should be disciplined appropriately. But all he had to do was cooperate with the police and do what he was told, and he would have gotten his speeding ticket and been on his way.
But why do the cops feel like they have to detain you and get you out of the car? The guy is speeding. You go up to his window. He's yelling or whatever. Do you really need to get him out? Why don't you just give him his ticket and let him go?
Here's what happened. He's driving a McLaren with tinted windows, and after he gave the cop his ID, he rolled the window back up. So he's sitting in his car with tinted windows, and the cop's standing right there. The cop can't see in the car. He doesn't know if he's got a weapon. Put yourself in the cop's shoes.
Yeah.
And so the cop's knocking on his window and saying, "Open your fucking window." And he's not cooperating. He's not opening his window. So the cop says, "Okay, get out of the car." And at this point, the cops, when he opens his door and he starts to get out, and the cops reach in and they grab him and they pull him out and put him face down and handcuff him. Right. And so that's what started the whole shitstorm. But
see, I think it's just a power trip, man. Oh, you're not listening to what I'm saying, and it gets to their head. Okay, and again, it's easy.
Well, this is why I want to play the clip so we can watch the clip, and then you guys, because my initial reaction was, okay, he's not cooperating. He's an uncooperative suspect. And I put myself in the cop's shoes. I don't know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
I don't know if this guy in this car who's rolled up after I've told him to roll his window down, who's kept his tinted window rolled up. I don't know what he's doing in there. I don't know if he's got a gun.
Yeah.
And you know, people are playing the race card, but the cops weren't white. The cops were Latinos, and I guess a lot of them are in Miami.
Yeah, for sure.
And the cops had serious. These are cowboys, motorcycle cops. And they're cowboys. You get out of the car, man! When I told you get out.
That's so fucking funny. Oh my god!
Yeah. So I want to play you the clip. Can we play it, Poseidon?
I'm having a serious problem.
Oh, too bad.
Look, it doesn't matter. Worst case scenario, can we just zoom out on mine and we'll just do it next to each other? It'll be a little uncomfortable, but at least it won't just be me on the thing.
Go sit next to George.
Okay, George, I'll give you 20 minutes to get your hand off my leg.
I'll slide it down, right?
If I close OBS, does it end the live stream?
Don't close anything, man. We'll just adapt. Is my mic on here?
But I have a serious problem because I have clients coming after, bro. So like,
We'll figure that out after, man.
we might have to cut it short, the episode, huh?
What time is the next one?
At 1 p.m., but I have to figure this out way before
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna be fine.
You know what? This green microphone clashes with my shirt. This isn't going to. Yeah, this doesn't. Yeah, yeah. See, I wore this shirt because it's sort of
Matches the fuchsia.
exactly. Yeah,
Pink.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it this way, man. We'll just
Let me
adapt.
turn off these cameras for now.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Just play the clip and we'll figure the rest out.
Yeah, the clip should be in the email that I sent you guys last night with the topics that I had for today. It's a Twitter clip, and you'll see the stop in its entirety. And there were also a couple of other players, a couple of his teammates pulled up.
I also have a funny clip to show you guys after as well, by the way.
A couple of his teammates pulled up, and the cops were having no part of that. And they were like, "You get out of here, man! You get in your car!"
I'm dying to hear the fucking accent.
Where is it?
It was in the email he sent, I think.
Federal. No. What email?
I sent you guys an email last night.
Miami Dolphins. Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to have to put our headphones on so we can hear it?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on my air today. I don't want to mess it up.
Hold on.
Yeah, here it is. So here's the So here's this is the police body cam of the stop. I think the whole thing's about 3 minutes long or so. But so let's watch it, and then I want to get your reaction.
Sure.
Mine was he could have been and should have been more cooperative, and yeah, the cops were heavy-handed, but fuck around and find out.
A lot of things have been going on lately, bro. They're gonna be heavy-handed.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why you have it up?
Fucking 4 motorcycles. Come on, man.
Well, it's like 2 cars.
He's rolling his window up now.
He had more than enough time to see him. Come on, man.
Yeah, but you don't know what he's doing after. No, this is weird.
Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me your ass. Get out of the car. Give me your ass. We'll break that freaking window. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car, Jeffy.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Here's where it goes south.
Get out. What part of that do you understand? Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. I'm getting arrested, Drew.
Drew!
I'm getting arrested.
He's talking to his agent on the phone.
I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin.
Damn.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? I'm getting out. You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. You're a little fucking confused. I'm getting out, bro. Too late. Too late.
Too late, Jeffy.
Hey, bro, do what you gotta do, bro. We are. We will. Good, bro. It is good. Hey, Drew. Hey. Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. You stop crying. Bro. Y'all. Don't move. Good. Bro, you beating on my window like you crazy. You set him up? Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro, dude beating on my window like he crazy. I ain't do nothing, twin.
So that SUV, there's 2 of his teammates in that.
It's a Rolls Royce.
Is it?
Yeah.
Park there. Don't park there. Hey.
They get a little rough with him here, too. They try to sit him down.
Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. Bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we go there. Put your window down. Chill, bro. Hey, Joe New, bro. Back up. Hey, call Drew. Hey, call Drew, bro. Call Drew, Hey, call Drew, bro. Hey, what? Hey, call Drew, bro. Just call Drew. Hey. What am I doing that's wrong?
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. Hey, man, they got Tyreek. The cops over here beating on him, man. They over here beating on Tyreek.
Nobody's beating on him, fuck.
Nah, that's an over-exaggeration.
Just get in the car.
Here's the thing. We don't know what happened before. There's 4 bikes, all right? Which
Well, he was pulled over for speeding.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So my initial reflex is if there's 4 bikes behind you, were you like when you saw those sirens and those lights? Did you pull? It's in Miami.
Miami. Yeah, I'm on the cop side.
Like, did you pull over? Did you continue? Did you say fuck these cops and they had to call for backup?
There's another video that shows the cop who initially pulled him over, and he pulled over.
Okay,
and he was doing, I don't know what the speeding. There were reports that he was doing 100 miles an hour. He wasn't. Yeah. He was ticketed for careless driving and speeding.
I think they lost their cool a bit.
They did.
They lost their cool.
I think so
100%.
too. I think so too.
I think they overreacted. They overplayed their hand. Granted, they are nervous. This is Miami. There's it's the States, bro. Everyone has a gun. You know what I mean? Tinted windows. They can't see in the car. I understand their nervousness. Do I agree with it? No. But
he was uncooperative.
Yeah,
It was,
But
All he had to do was take his ticket. All he had to do was comply with what they tell him to do, take your ticket, and be on your way.
Yeah, when I get pulled over, I just yes sir, and what do you need, and blah. I don't want any problem.
But there's also a bit of a power trip thing. Like the window was down long enough for you to see who the fuck was there to see.
Yeah, but you got to keep that window down.
Yeah, you got to keep that window down.
I think by law,
you have to keep that window down.
Especially if it's a tinted window.
Well, if it's tinted, maybe because he needs to see, I guess, maybe. But
no, but this is not a power trip. You could tell they were actually they were afraid. The way they're reacting, those cops, they were scared. That was fear. That was not power trip. Power trip is different. I don't think this is a power trip. I think they were just, especially the leader. I think the leader, the guy with the tattoos on his hands, the cop. I think he was nervous for his colleagues as well. That's why he stepped in the way he stepped in. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I just love these guys out of a fucking.
I think it is hilarious, though. I think it is hilarious. You know, the Hispanic and Black community have been allies this whole time.
You know, it's just funny that they're all Cuban though.
And this video,
it's like you would think, okay, there's one Cuban and then like another like regular American or whatever.
I'm just
Everyone
glad
is like, hey, Drew, get down. Yeah, you are getting arrested.
I'm just glad they can't blame the whites this time. You know what I mean?
This one's not on us.
God forbid there was one white man in there who would have been the white supremacy. Now I can't say shit, bro.
Yeah, but
you don't listen. I was too late, man.
Yeah, there's a huge split on social media between people saying he got what was coming to him, and other people saying police overreach, police brutality.
No.
I don't think it's police brutality. We've seen worse. Police brutality, man. Like they didn't touch him. They put him on the ground. They cuffed him. They politely lifted him up. They sat him down.
Yeah, well,
but they were yelling at him.
Yeah,
I'm surprised down because the guy's not listening. But
I'm surprised people are overreacting about this. Looks like this looks very light compared to what's happened in the past.
I agree.
You know what I mean? This is super light. This is a miscommunication.
Well, a lot of people are saying, imagine if he wasn't Tyreek Hill, what would have happened?
You know what's crazy? I guarantee
maybe if it wasn't him, sorry to interrupt you, maybe he would have complied. Maybe
no. What's crazy is I guarantee you, because I'm looking at the facial expression of the football player. What's his name? Tyreek?
Yeah.
I guarantee you it wasn't even to not comply. It's pretty, you know what? It may be just as dumb as it's really hot and really humid in Miami, and he had the AC running, and he's like, yo, I want to be comfortable in my AC. It could be as dumb as that.
No, I think it's just his attitude. He's like, yeah, man, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. And he pulled up his window.
But keep in mind, he's getting paid millions of dollars to throw around a ball that's shaped like an egg. So, yeah, there's going to be...
there's a sense of privilege. There's like, fuck you, you know who I am.
No, there's going to be ego, 100%.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, because he's like, yeah, do what you got to do, whatever. He's like playing it cool. Yeah. I guarantee you, it was just like, I just want to run my AC, be comfortable. They're going to go do their thing. I guarantee you, it's something like that. Because if we rewatch, I'm going to mute it though, because there's a lot of commotion going on. Because I studied this.
yeah. In school, he's got a master's degree.
So look, they're chilling. Actually, you know what? We need the volume so we can listen to them.
Yeah, you listen to him, and he's giving the cop attitude right away.
Look, the window's open. You know who's driving. He's looking inside.
Hold on.
Is there passengers?
Stop talking for one stretch.
I'm not listening. Yeah. Poor fucking cops. Come on.
Wait, we got to swing back around.
Do what you got to do so I can go.
Yeah. Okay.
Come
look,
on, man. The window's open long enough.
Hold on. He 100.
Yeah, but it's a tinted window and he's rolled it back up. Put yourself in that cop's
George,
shoes.
have you ever lived in the U.S.? Have you seen other videos, bro? You know how many times cops get shot in the United States, bro? Stop saying stupidities,
no,
please.
Dude, the guy gave you his driver's license.
No,
Go
but I
fucking run the check.
I understand, bro, but they can't see in the car. But George, this is the United States of America, bro. Don't be stupid. Stop saying stupidities, please. This is the United States of America, bro. Everyone has a fucking weapon. You know how many videos are out there of cops getting shot by people rolling up the windows or as they're about to walk away? Come on, man. These guys are nervous. I get them. But also, he was not, he was giving attitude. He has a bit of an ego trip, you could tell. But it wasn't like, he wasn't rolling up his window just to be like, fuck you guys. He was just doing like, do what you got to do. Yeah, it was ego involved, 100%. Did the cops overreact? Yeah, 100%. I think it's just a small miscommunication. That's what I think this is.
At the same time, even if the window's open and your weapon is concealed or you're hiding it, like it doesn't make a difference.
Yes, it does, because now it gives you a chance chance to react. Now you can't. If the window's rolled up, you can't see, bro.
How hard is it to do what the cop tells you
that's
to
the
do?
thing. Just fucking do what the cop tells you. Even though, look, I mean, I think it's a little excessive, to be honest with you. I don't think it's tragic.
Honestly, I don't think it's that bad, man.
No, that's the thing. I don't think it's that bad. I just think that
I don't even think
there's a slight overreaction by the cops. I think
they all overreacted. There was a bit of panic, and I think that's it.
But it's become it's turned into a racism issue now.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God, bro.
It's not. It's really not a racism thing. And you know what? Just since we're on the topic, I think that body cams should be mandatory
100%.
everywhere.
Are they not at this point?
Well, no. In Montreal, they were debating it. They're not sure. Some cops have, some don't. I'm not even sure what's happening with that. I don't know if it's a cost thing. I have no idea.
Yeah, there's an incident in Laval. I think
I saw that one. Yeah, where they were beating the guy on the ground. Yeah,
there's a guy, and again, it's turned into a racism thing.
Again, keep in mind that we only see one part of the thing, right? We don't know what happened before.
We didn't see what led up to it.
There's zero context.
Yeah, but there is context for this, and the context was he was speeding, he got pulled over,
in the climate,
and it escalated.
In the climate of today, where everyone hates cops, they're hated, and there's people like actually harming cops, and these guys have families, they want to go back. The best course of action you can do if you get pulled over, regardless of whether you're in the wrong or not, let the man give you his ticket. Keep your window rolled down. Just chill. It's gonna take 5 minutes. Put your hands there's no need to start being like whatever, bro. Like just let him do his thing. Because keep in mind, like cops have egos too. So just it's the best way because these guys are nervous, especially in today's day and age. They're nervous as fuck, man, for what might happen.
The cops, you mean?
The cops.
Yeah,
Dude. Yeah. So just...
Hey, let's talk about James Earl Jones. Legendary actor, passed away.
Ah, yes.
This is CNN.
What was the first movie you saw him in?
I don't know.
I think it may have been Field of Dreams for me.
Probably Star Wars for me, or there might have been something even prior to that.
Star Wars for sure, but maybe I was too young to realize that that's that actor.
Yeah, although I didn't. Yeah, I don't even know if he was the guy in the suit or if he was just the voice.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I could do a great Darth Vader impression.
Can you? Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Luke, I fucked your mother.
A stirring tribute to the legendary James Earl Jones.
That would have been way
Poseidon.
funnier. That would have been way funnier if you started probably hey everybody, like some stupid retarded voice.
He had such a huge legacy. Darth Vader, the voice of Darth Vader in Star Wars, Field of Dreams. He was this is CNN. That
really?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
This is CNN.
Yeah, he did a lot of theater too, I know.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got it.
Apparently had a stutter as a kid, had to overcome a really severe stutter. Cool. And I think going into theater and acting was part of how he overcame that. Yeah.
That's amazing. I saw this thing.
Okay, I got it.
It's going to be stupid.
Luke, I'm your daddy.
There's all these things that are now surfacing, and there was one that I had never seen before, and I found it quite impressive. It's I think it's a baseball game where they brought him out, but instead of singing the national anthem, he recited it, and he had like a choir kind of. Singing the and he's
say, can you see?
And it's so amazing. It's so original, and the voice, the deep voice, the theatrical presence, and everything. It was original. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was,
I said on social media after he passed, I said I don't know this to be true, but I get I intuitively feel like on top of being so talented and accomplished, he was probably a really kind and decent man.
Yeah.
He just came across that way, and if he wasn't, then he was an even better actor than I thought.
Yeah.
And after I posted that, you remember Leslie Roberts, who used to be a local TV anchorman? Leslie responded to that tweet, and he said that he had the privilege of being at a private dinner where I think it was a private dinner honoring James Earl Jones, and he said he got to meet him, and he said he couldn't have been nicer.
Nice.
So he was just humble and decent and generous.
What is Leslie Roberts doing these days? I follow him on social media. He's no longer on TV, is he?
I don't think so. No, he was doing global TV in Toronto, I think. And I think Leslie actually, he ran into a spot of trouble for, he was running like a PR agency outside of his television career. And
How is that a problem?
he was supposedly having his clients on as
I see.
as guests on the broadcast.
Okay,
There was a conflict. He was accused of a conflict of interest, and I think that was the end of his TV career. I'm not sure what he's doing now, and I'm not sure if any of that was ever proven or if it was just alleged, and if that was enough for him to have to leave Global. But anyway, Leslie's a nice guy.
Yeah,
He's a good job.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more politics, guys.
Yes, I want to know what's going on with the NDP and the Liberals and the Bloc Québécois.
So a lot of things happened last week after we finished our episode. We'll start with
right after we finished our episode.
Immediately
the
right
same
after.
day, yeah.
I got into my car and I looked at Twitter and I saw Pierre Fitzgibbon, the super minister here in Quebec, resigned. And I was like, "What the fuck? That can't be true." I'm like, "Are you serious?" There was rumors that he may not finish his whole mandate up until 2026. That he was going to leave probably around Christmas or after the holidays. He announced that he was resigning, and then just moments later, everything came out to the effect that it was actually Premier Legault that told him, "Look, dude, just leave. If you're not going to finish your mandate, if you're not going to stay until 2026, I need a team that is committed."
So Legault gave him the old, "Here's your hat, what's your hurry?"
And it's fascinating because, and I mean, they called him a super minister. It's the first time I hear that term, but he was responsible. He was the minister for energy, economy and innovation, minister responsible for the region of Montreal. So huge files, right? And he was the one apparently that went to Premier Legault in 22 when they won the election and told him, "Listen, give me economy and innovation, but I want you to split energy and natural resources and give me the energy portion as well." He thought that energy with business matches perfectly. So he was responsible basically for Hydro-Quebec. And the other fascinating thing, and which got everyone by surprise, is that this week the session picked up again on yesterday. And on top of the agenda is a Bill 69, which he tabled on the tariffs and rates of Hydro-Quebec.
You missed that, Poseidon. Bill 69.
Yeah.
Bill 69.
Just a tad late. So and normally
The bill that allows everyone to 69.
So normally you're a minister, you're tabling a bill. Ideally, you're there to defend it when you're studying it in committee, and that took everyone by surprise. Like, dude, how do you resign just days before the session starts up again, and that we're called upon to study your bill? So that was strange. But then, like I told you, it came out that it was actually Legault that forced him to leave because obviously he was planning on leaving anyway. But that was strange. So anyways, there was a little shuffle in the cabinet, but that stirred up shit in Quebec City, and right before the session, so everyone is on edge over here. Everyone is just going off their off the rails, saying, "Well, fucking, if you fire your super minister, then how can we trust you?" And it's all politics, obviously. All this to say that in just a couple of days, nobody's even talking about that anymore.
What's the way the news cycle works now?
That's it.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days and you're done. As soon as they replaced him, the session started yesterday. It was gone. It's over. Nobody's talking about it. What people are still talking about, though, and this also happened last week, was Jagmeet Singh giving into Pierre Poilievre. I think we had spoken about Pierre Poilievre making a press conference the week before, so 2 weeks ago, calling on Jagmeet Singh to end the agreement he had with the Liberals so that they could...
Which was propping up the minority government.
Exactly. And he was saying that, as soon as we go back in the House, there will be a vote of non-confidence. We need Jagmeet Singh to fucking vote with us,
He cracks him up.
Yeah.
I'm my best friend.
So and he took the bait. Jagmeet Singh took the bait, and he came out last week and said, we're breaking off the deal. And it was just fascinating to just see the guy suddenly in campaign mode. It's like, dude, you fucking suck. Like, how are people going to forget?
And he did a 180, right?
Yeah, completely 180. Justin Trudeau, this government, this and that, and at some point. I mean, look, let's be honest here. There was no way in hell that deal could have gone further than it did because, and we've spoken about this so many times, how are you going to be campaigning? Because next year is an election year, right? 2025, maximum until October. It's a campaign. It's an election year. So there's no way that you can lead up to that whole, to the next election and having supported the government that you are now going to criticize during your campaign. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So at some point, either side had to break off that deal. So the fact that he did it doesn't shock me. It doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is that immediately, within 24 hours, this guy was on campaigning mode. It's like, dude, we know that you supported this government the last 2 years. Everything that you are criticizing him now on, whether it's housing, whether it's affordability, you helped him stay there. You voted along with him. The positive thing...
But again, isn't that just politics?
It is just politics. The positive thing about the NDP, and that's probably what he's going to be campaigning on, is that for the first time in their history, they got so many of their ideas passed into law.
Right.
Pharmacare, dental care, all these things, right? What I'm questioning is whether or not he will really be the one profiting from that, or if it's going to be Justin Trudeau. And I think it's Justin Trudeau that is going to get a lot more out of that in his campaign than Jagmeet Singh will.
He's going to get more credit for those things than Singh. Yeah,
for sure. Even though I think Trudeau he's not going to neglect the fact that it came from the NDP. I think he's going to use that, especially in the NDP electorate, to kind of get them to vote for the Liberals rather than the NDP this time around. And I see it coming. His argument is going to be, we cannot afford a guy like Pierre Poilievre in government. You need to vote us in. Keep him out. This is what we did when we worked with the NDP. We got your ideas passed. So you can trust us. So, elect us and we're going to get your stuff into power, but we need to make sure that Pierre Poilievre doesn't get in. Obviously, the negative side is going to come out, the Trump-like politics. And now we're heading into an American election. It's the perfect timing for the Liberals over here to paint Poilievre in a negative way by comparing him to Donald Trump. I think that's going to come anytime now.
They've been doing that all along anyway, have they?
Yeah, well, but now even more so because the election in the U.S.
proper, but certainly people on social
it's been
media
happening.
support.
But now the U.S. election is going into high gear, right? So I'm sure they're going to be looking at clips of Trump and trying to find similar things that Poilievre has said, and I'm expecting those videos to surface.
So in the meantime, to avoid a snap election here, Trudeau's trying to cut a deal with the Bloc Québécois.
Yeah, the only way that he can stay in power. Look, there's two things that can happen. Either they're going to vote him out as soon as the session starts. At some point before the end of September, I'm assuming that the Conservatives are going to...
When does the House of Commons go back in session?
I think next week.
Okay.
So at some point, I'm sure that the Conservatives are going to table a vote of non-confidence. And the government might fall. So maybe we'll be in election this fall.
Now, is he trying to cut a deal with the Bloc right now so that he doesn't lose?
He has no choice.
Okay.
He has no choice
And
because
so
for sure 100% the Conservatives are going to be tabling a vote of non-confidence.
So what's he got to offer the Bloc?
Well, this is where the Bloc now is, the ball is in their court and they have the upper hand because... And this is what Yves-François Blanchet said. He goes, suddenly everyone is interested in what the Bloc has to say. Interesting, right? Let's not forget, and Yves-François Blanchet, even though he's not in favor of the CAQ as a government, because he's a separatist, right? He supports the PQ. He's playing it as a real professional and saying, listen, our party's mandate is to look out for Quebec interests. So even though there's a government that we don't necessarily agree with, we're there to bring their issues at the federal level. And one of the issues that the Legault government has been trying to get is more power on immigration. They want more money for housing, senior care, and there's a whole list of things that Yves-François Blanchet laid out. And he's like, well, look, if Justin Trudeau wants to keep his government alive, we're going to take full advantage of that, and we're going to get Quebecers what they've deserved and haven't been able to get with the NDP coalition. So he's attacking the NDP while playing the savior card of Quebec, right? And we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see if Justin Trudeau caves in. The immigration thing is a huge one. The increased powers on immigration. This is what Legault government has been arguing with the federal government for the last year or so.
Doesn't Quebec already have special powers on immigration compared to other provinces?
They do. They have the whole selection process. So if anyone wants to immigrate to Canada and come to Quebec, Canada obviously does the background check. They approve you to come in, but Quebec needs to select you. There's the Quebec, the selection certificate of Quebec, the certificat d'acceptation or de sélection. So Quebec needs to select you. So yeah, they do have their power, but at the same time, Trudeau, when it comes to irregular migrants or refugees or asylum seekers, that has nothing to do with Quebec. It's the federal government. So that's why Legault's hands are tied, because most of the people coming into Quebec now are irregular immigrants. They haven't gone through the normal application process where Quebec selects them. They've been imposed by Ottawa to take them because, well, they're either waiting for their refugee status or they're here temporarily. So their hands are tied.
And are they generally from French-speaking countries?
No, they're from they're a lot from South America. Most of them are from South America. There's a lot of refugees coming from Middle East as well that Canada has taken in. And we have to remind everyone listening that while they're here, even temporarily, it's the government of Quebec that needs to take care of them. So we're talking about housing, their Medicare, school for their kids, daycares, dental stuff. All that stuff comes under the welfare program of Quebec. So it's a huge strain economically on the Quebec government. So they've been seeking to get more powers on immigration. Justin Trudeau has closed that door. I'm very curious to see if Yves-François Blanchet is going to be able to succeed at that. If not, we're going into an election this fall. In any case, even if they manage something with the Bloc Québécois and they stay in power until the end of the year, it's very difficult for me to imagine any party in the opposition in Ottawa to approve the budget in March. It's almost inconceivable for me to imagine, because it's an election year. How can you support Justin Trudeau's budget in March and then in September of next year say, no, this government is garbage? Yeah, but you approved its budget, right? So whatever happens, I think we're probably going to be in an election in the springtime. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting. Speaking of election, though, things are really going bad for Justin Trudeau. They were going bad, and we've spoken so many times on this show about whispers that I've gotten from behind the scenes about people not being happy, political staffers complaining, his own MPs, his own caucus not being happy, but everything has been kept kind of under the rug, like let's just, you know what I mean?
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. But now, the last couple of weeks, I've been noticing that it's coming out more and more publicly now, and the media is talking about it. And last week there was a letter sent out to him by over 50 staffers of the Liberal Party of Canada, that sent a letter to Justin Trudeau disagreeing with his policy about the Middle East and refusing to help him win or to help participate in the by-election here in Montreal.
His policy of the Middle East vis-a-vis Israel?
Exactly.
So in other words, they're disagreeing with him for criticizing him for supporting Israel.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So most of them are Muslims or Arabs, staffers, and what they've done is gotten the support of these donors, I think mostly out of Toronto, important donors. So they've created this mini coalition, and they sent a letter. That letter was made public, and they voiced a disagreement towards Justin Trudeau. These are staffers. This is an MP or minister's staff,
right,
that comes out publicly calling out Justin Trudeau, disagreeing with him, and saying, you know what, until you change, you're not getting any money from this group. I can't remember the group's name. And we are not going to be helping you, especially in these by-elections, until you change your stance on that conflict. Ridiculous if you ask me. But it just goes to show you how dissatisfied certain people are. And yesterday, Tuesday, and the day before on Monday, they had their pre-session caucus on BC. And a lot of MPs that were questioned seemed to indicate that they they're not very happy with Justin Trudeau. One of them was Alexandra Mendez, who gets elected in Brossard in the South Shore. And she came out publicly and said, listen, he's a great guy, but a lot of my constituents don't want him.
And is it voter fatigue, or is this all specific
I think
to
at this
the
point,
Israel?
I think it's general. I think it's general. And let's not forget that, you know, the MPs bring the voice of their constituents to Ottawa, right? And if she's going around to her different events and everybody's like telling her, listen, we don't mind you, we love you, you're our MP, but you got to change your leader. Yeah. She's doing fundraising activities and she can't get money. Guess what? It's the fucking leader's fault, right? Yeah. I have friends that are MPs and they've been sending me messages to support their fundraising. And I told them bluntly, I go, listen, come and see me after Trudeau's gone, because there's not an inch of me that wants to give money to a party ran by Justin Trudeau. I just can't do that, right? And I feel bad because I know them and they're friends, and I just can't do that. So I'm assuming that I'm not the only one that feels that way. And now it's becoming public. There's a lot of questions again on whether or not Justin Trudeau is going to stay. You know, there's Philippe François Champagne, who's his economy and innovation minister. You know, there's more and more rumors about him trying to take over. So
what's the role that they've given to Mark Carney? Is he being groomed as a potential
Mark Carney, there were all these rumors that he, he's
the former governor of the Bank of Canada.
Former governor and Bank of London as well, or Bank of England, whatever it was.
So a very accomplished,
super intelligent guy, regardless of what the Conservatives are saying. He understands economy, he understands international trade, he understands relations, he understands money. There were rumors, there's been rumors now for over a year now, that certain members of Justin Trudeau's caucus have been approaching him and they're kind of lining him up to be next and trying to see if maybe he can even replace Justin Trudeau in these elections. So there's all these things circulating. And he's always been on the outside. We've known that he's collaborated with the government. But this time around, we found out yesterday that Justin Trudeau appointed him as his special advisor. We don't know the details yet. Everyone is speculating, and there's some whispers that came out to the effect that there is a special economic committee, finance and economy committee that Justin Trudeau's putting ahead to kind of help put things together as they prepare for the elections. And Mark Carney is going to be part of that. And I'm thinking, did he just bring the wolf in the henhouse, or is it an intelligent way for Justin Trudeau, seeing how things are bad anyway, that he's just going to point his finger and say, well, you know, Mark Carney didn't really do his job. And he's certainly done that with other people in his team, right? I mean, we remember Jody Wilson-Raybould. We remember his former finance minister. He is a master of throwing people under the bus. He brought the Nazi in the parliament. Who took the fall for that? His speaker. So a lot of analysts are thinking, did he just open up the door to kind of just take the rug out from beneath his feet?
I forgot about the Jody Wilson-Raybould thing. That was awful.
It's horrible.
She was great. She was a terrific,
and she did her job.
Minister, yeah.
She did her job as an attorney, as the attorney general.
He might have seen her as a threat to his leadership.
I don't know if she had what it takes to do that, but and it wasn't even about leadership. At that point, I remember it was just about her.
Well, that was the whole.
She's like, I cannot. Yeah,
thing, right?
But she's like, I cannot interfere. I'm the attorney general, because she was the minister of justice, and obviously immediately.
I'm interrupting. Captain YOLO dropped 10 large ones in the chat.
Attaboy.
Thank you, Mr. Captain YOLO.
Thank you, first of all.
Yeah.
And he says, I swear to God, if you interrupt me, George, I'm going to get very upset. Okay. The Tories have an impressive war chest in the tens of millions of dollars. The NDP is going to pull the plug as they are tied up in the provincial elections in BC and in Saskatchewan this fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It's true. There are provincial elections, and he's not wrong. In terms of image, how are they going to help their provincial brothers and sisters, if you want, whatever you want to call the parties, if they're still supporting Justin Trudeau? So in terms of image, it is the right thing. I'm just not convinced that people are going to forget and that they were supporting the government all along, and definitely the conservatives are going to bang on that, right? And Poilievre he's not dumb. He knows exactly what he's doing. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen on Monday's election.
Is that
that's the by-election? There's two by-elections. There's one
LaSalle,
up in
Emard, and Verdun.
Yeah. So there's one in Quebec and there's one in Manitoba. The Manitoba one is a stronghold of the NDP. I don't think they risk losing it, but anything is possible. And the one here in Montreal, everyone is kind of pointing to a potential victory of the NDP, but I think it's a three-way race. The Bloc may even potentially squeeze right through.
What do you think about Craig Sauvé from the NDP using the Palestinian flag on his campaign
He's a complete douchebag. He's an idiot. You are running in a federal election in Canada. There's absolutely no justification of you putting any other flag than the Canadian one on your posters, on your pamphlets. Like it's ridiculous. And if you look at the pamphlet,
calculated. Does he think that's going to get him votes?
No, it's not going to get him fucking votes. And I'm not even sure that they have a significant portion of the electorate that is Muslim or Arabic,
Middle Eastern,
or Middle Eastern. I don't understand that. And so
there's not a substantial Jewish population in that riding. I don't think.
No, either. No. So just to put everyone into context, he has a pamphlet so that he's distributing, and it's obviously very targeted, I guess, in one particular area of that riding, where it shows him, Craig Sauvé, so he's the candidate for the NDP, and behind him in the backdrop is a Palestinian flag, and it says, "Vote NDP to end the genocide in Gaza."
Yeah.
Dude, you getting elected will not fucking solve anything in Gaza. So, it's petty politics. It's taking people for idiots to think that by you getting elected in the House of Commons that suddenly the issue is going to be resolved. You're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry to say that, but you're stupid for doing that.
Netanyahu's going to go, holy shit, Craig Sauvé got elected in LaSalle, man.
Let's figure out a deal.
We got to pull the troops out.
ASAP. We got to do something ASAP. So it's stupid on his behalf. It's even stupider for the NDP to have approved that pamphlet. And it's an insult towards your electorate. They're not that dumb, buddy. Message to Craig. I don't know if he's listening to this podcast, but your electorate isn't fucking stupid. All right, you can't do stuff like that. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life, and I've worked and I've done so many campaigns. Never in my life have I seen a foreign flag on any electoral publicity or pamphlet or whatever you want to call it, either here in Quebec or in Canada. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Having said that, I know you want to wrap up, but
we got to get out of here because my catheter's starting to back up.
The last thing, just on that conflict, yesterday Melanie Joly made an announcement saying that they're going to block every military arm going to Gaza. So they're forbidding Israel from using Canadian-made arms in Gaza, including the military weapon or technology that they've sold to the U.S. and that the U.S. could potentially sell to Israel. So
we're still going to supply Israel with Timbits and ketchup chips, though.
So I don't know how to react to that. I think it's the dumbest decision ever, and I'm just curious to know if whether or not that has anything to do with what's happening here in Villemard as an answer to that idiot's pamphlet. But in general, I think it's a very bad decision. So that's it. Let's sign off. Poseidon needs to figure out the camera problem.
Thank you for tuning in to the most romantic episode of the morning show.
It was romantic. It was romantic. Thank you, guys. Subscribe to patreon.com/Pantelis. Get yourself a plan. Follow Poseidon, the Poseidon69. I'm Poseidon.com for his website. Ted Bird, ladies and gentlemen, brand new season of Standing by the Terran Ted podcast. That will be weekly from now on. So follow that, support it, and if you know or understand French, head on over to Politiquement Parlant for my podcast. Thank you all so very much. Have yourselves a great day. See you next week.